Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First, a reminder. All of the content we produce is available on our website at finalshowfilms.com, as well as youtube.com/senstaku, senstaku.podbean.com, twitch.tv/senstaku, and on iTunes. We are only able to do the things we do thanks to the kind support of our Patreon donors. We give a special shout out to our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic and Waterflame. If you'd like to support us that way, be sure to check it out. Secondly, a thank you to the folks over at 411mania.com. They produce articles and content related to wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming. Go check them out. We appreciate their support as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe, comment, and rate, if possible, wherever you listen to or watch our content. It helps us know what you like, what you don't like, and helps us make more content. Feedback is always appreciated. With all that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adventurers League Storm King Thunder. I'm John. I'm the Game Master for the day. And joining us today is William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Farron Altarian, human paladin of Ilmater.
And Jeremy.
Hello, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Kinvalar, Sun Elf Blade Singer.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I'm playing I'm not playing Star Wars. Why did I say that?
You're not playing Star Wars.
I'm playing Miracle, the Tiefling Ranger.
And Jeff.
Hello, I'm Jeff. I'm playing Farbolt Chance, the half-elf rogue.
And rejoining us once again is Thean Grebo.
Yay!
Yay.
Hey, I'm Thea, and I'm playing Milva, the halfling rogue.
And I'm playing Flint, who's a dwarven barbarian bard.
And when last we left Flint and Milva, so Flint and Milva were left behind in the city of Nightstone, where they said that they were going to help defend the town against any further incursion until reinforcements arrived and people got back to sort of build up the town and get everything put back together. Which they did. They stayed there for a few days before following in the tracks, on the trail of their fellow adventuring party, finding themselves several days behind the rest of the group just about everywhere they went. They found themselves next in Tribor about a week after the primary party was there, as it was being attacked by giants again. The fire giants that had fled from the original town had apparently gone and got reinforcements from the north and came back to fight, where Flint and Milva helped the town fend them off, which is where Flint acquired himself a quite fine greatsword that just happens to burst into flame whenever he hits anybody with it. In gratitude for assisting them, they received some more gold and things and continued on their way, following after the main party. Eventually, they lost track of the main party in Everland. Those of you that have been watching the Adventurers League series would know that's because they then started teleporting around the world. And decided to, well, screw it, and turn around and go back the other way, seeing what they can find to do on their own. Eventually finding themselves in Mornbrun's Shield, where Flint and Milva have been making a bit of money, killing trolls with the assistance of the town. Most recently, after killing some trolls with the assistance of the flaming catapults situated on the keep side of the town, they returned only to hear the sounds of what seemed to be what had been drawing a commotion, the sounds of battle inside the inn. So, what are the two of you doing as you hear these sounds of battle?
I'm assuming I'm gonna follow Flint, because
Yeah.
he's gonna just run towards us, probably.
Flint hears the sound of battle and fighting, and just says, "Okay, there seems to be a good team in that inn," and he just legs it over to the door.
Ella just rolls her eyes and follows him.
So as you guys get to the door, you find a body collapsed in the doorway with a floating beer bottle above it, and step inside to see the remains of your companions in very different garb than they were the last time you saw them, but your companions that you lost track of in Everland. Fyron is currently laying on the ground, heaving heavily as he's on top of a corpse that apparently was made by the group. The entire room is singed from repeated fireballs. There are four floating beer bottles. Farbolt and Miracle also are on the ground, are sort of clambering to their feet, severely injured and bleeding. There is a giant bat hanging from the rafters, and in the middle of it all is Kinvalar, looking slightly singed, but otherwise fine compared to the rest of the group.
Fyron kind of looks at the two of them as they enter. Oh, what took you two so long? You missed the party.
There was all fighting trolls and giants and all sorts. We tried to find you, but I couldn't. But just 1 second, I've got to get through the important stuff. And Flint goes straight up to the nearest floating beer bottle and tries to drink from it.
Make me an unarmed attack roll.
Okay.
Grab the beer bottle.
Yeah,
So
you have to bear with us because
That's fine.
we don't normally use roll 20, so we're just gonna be refreshing.
You're a barbarian. Make it an athletics check because that's basically what the roll's going to be.
Okay.
Just so click the word athletics.
When it loads.
16. So the beer bottle deftly dances away from your hand as you try to grab it.
Flint is not happy at that.
You keep-
Imagine Flint like a cat,
Miracle's
just going
walking
Flint
over
like
and
this
casting
at the
cure
beer
wounds
bottle
on
above
that.
his head.
casting cure wounds on what?
The bat.
On the bat? Okay. So,
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
The bat
Kinvalar will
is
allow the
also at
bottle.
1 hit point.
Just kind of sitting on the floor, hands on his knees, kind of waves his rapier towards the one guy. We need to tie that guy up.
yeah, there's
Kinvalar allows the ball to float down.
the bottle floats down, and Flint, you can grab it.
Yeah, Flint grabs it and then starts chugging. As soon as he's finished, throws it on the floor, smashing it, and goes over to the guy to tie him up.
Say you can tie. He's the guard, the injured guard, which you both recognize as the guards that had been. Oddly, the inn had been like sort of off limits to people, but that didn't really bother the two of you because you could sleep anywhere. And in fact, Milva could get you into just about any building that Milva wanted to get into, so it wasn't all that big of a deal. But you had noticed these guards sort of standing in like a row of 6 outside the inn when you got here, and as you've been working and killing trolls, and so this one's particularly injured, but still alive and asleep. So you tie him up. And Miracle, you heal. You heal your bat for 5, and Fyron, I'm assuming you're healing somebody.
So I heal myself for 17 and Farbolt for 8.
And I'll also spend a spell on myself.
All right.
You want this guy waking up?
Sorry, say that again. I'm currently still spinning from fighting a dozen people.
Do you want this man waking up?
Not until we've got him secured.
Eventually, though, yes.
Okay, so
He will eventually need to be awoken up.
So he's tied up.
Yeah.
Shall I attempt to wake him up? Flint straddles over the guy's chest, lifts up his kilt, and starts wafting.
While he's doing this, Farbolt's like going over to the bar, just looking what's left, grabbing a bottle of something.
Yeah, you can find a bottle of something. After a few moments, the underneath Flint. Oh God, what is that? Oh.
It's better than smelling salts, isn't it?
You have an awake and sickened. He's currently under the effect of the poison status. Figure.
We did offer you the opportunity to surrender, as far
Yes,
as
we
stands
did.
up.
He's just sort of unhappy right now, mostly because of being sickened by the way he was woken up.
He's got a very filthy flint on his chest.
I mean, not only did we offer you the opportunity to surrender, we warned you what would happen if you didn't. So I personally cannot feel too terribly bad about your situation right now.
So you have this guard.
Mm-hmm.
What info
I mean,
do you
we've
want
been
from him?
taunting him.
Yeah, he's just sort of laying there being miserable right now. So
Well, if you feel like having your situation improve at all, I think we've got a lot of questions you could answer.
How long did that fight last?
you lasted like a minute.
I still got about 8 minutes left on my emissary of peace. As I kind of step up. So, friend, if you want this to go any kind of well for you tonight, honestly, we would really like to know what the Zentarum were doing in this town.
Give me a persuasion roll.
All right, and this goes +5. 12, because I can't roll for shit.
Could Flint give him advantage by leaning in and looking menacing at the guy?
Would have had to done that before the roll.
Oh, okay.
Let me take a look at a thing real quick, because it
Guys got.
is an opposed roll.
If it's an insight roll, it's got disadvantage.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he just
Also,
sort of
prison status.
It is 12 because I have
yeah. He rolled an 11, so congratulations.
Hey!
Looks up at you. Look, I'm just here as a guard to get paid. All right. If you want to know what they were up to, and he sort of nods over to the desk that was spilled over. He's got the books.
I will go over and start looking through the books.
Miracle will perk up at the mention of books. Heave himself completely off the floor.
So yeah,
I'm gonna go search the guy who was behind the death, the leader.
Are
see
you
if he's got anything
are you
on
searching
him.
just him, or are you searching all the bodies?
I'm just searching. Well, I'm starting with just him.
All right. Well, so he has both a book and a ring on him, as well as a pouch filled with gold.
I'll offer up the book to Kinvalar, and
So this is the book. This is the book bearing the symbol of the Zentarum, the black winged snake, and he also has an electrum signet ring that also bears that symbol on one finger, and a pouch with 8 gold in it. Since you're searching his body, and in the book,
how much gold?
8 gold. So in the book, basically, it describes that the Zentarum operatives were dispatched from Yarder. To come up and offer protection.
Air quotes.
Air quotes protection, while also looking for. Basically, they were looking for. Sorry, I'm trying to find the exact thing. They were looking to find the lost tomb of Mornbryn. That's located somewhere in or around the city. Apparently, it has some form of treasure or something in it. Mornbryn having been the adventurer that founded Mornbryn's shield, and it didn't seem like the villagers were being very cooperative, and that they were getting very far.
Okay. That's the book that I went to go get, or the book that was...
Same book. The book that you went to go get is the book that was on his person that Farball handed to you.
Okay. Interesting. They were looking for some lost tomb. And they didn't seem too pleased that the villagers were not aiding.
Smartbrins.
It's funny you should mention that.
I mean, we're in Mornbrin's shield.
Yes.
Well, I'm not surprised the inhabitants didn't exactly want to help, considering where they live.
Yeah.
Does it say what they were looking for there, or just they were looking for it?
Treasure.
Yeah, it just says the tomb.
Is there an upstairs to be in?
Yes.
Miracle will. I'm not exactly in the state to, but we should probably check upstairs, see if they had anything up there or anyone.
Flint, Milva, would you like to check upstairs for us? You might find a fight. If there's anyone left, you might find another fight.
Oh, sorry. And I get off the guy, and I head up the stairs behind Milva.
Yeah. Quietly.
After they've gone up the stairs, I look down at the guy. Was that all of you?
Give me a persuasion check to see how generally amenable he is to you right now. Flint, Milva, you guys go upstairs. You don't find there's nobody else upstairs. It seems like the upstairs has been pretty. The upstairs seems to have been pretty much left alone.
I hit perception instead of persuasion, but it's the same roll. That'd make it 27.
Oh, you hit perception last time too.
Oh, did I? Oh, fuck. It's actually 2 higher than, yeah, it'd be 24, which would be plus 5 would be 29.
Okay. It looks up. Oh, that was all of us. Was.
Well, you're still here. I suggest you find more gainfully employed work as a guard.
He sort of. He's just laying there waiting for you to kill him, basically.
I'm sorry, we're letting him. We're not simply turning him into somebody to be jailed.
I mean, he'll probably spend a little bit of time in jail, but honestly, he's quite the soldier, and he's probably of more use to the world as a functional guard than as a corpse.
That seems.
I look down at him. You're just following orders, correct?
He nods.
How very reformative-minded of you.
I am a paladin of the god who takes on others' suffering.
Well,
Forgiveness is in the modus operandi.
That is all well and good.
I said just
I am a bounty hunter.
turn him over to the local.
And
Here.
he came to this
I
town.
was gonna say, I feel like the local mayor could solve your dispute quite easily.
He came to this town willingly.
I'm gonna go outside and go looking for a local.
Continue your thought, Kinvalar.
He came to this town willingly, following orders or not, with the intent to protect people, aka criminal activity, and then try to murder us. I don't think.
He did a damn good job of it, I'll say.
Oh, well, then certainly we should let him go.
Did a damn good job of murdering us.
No, what I'm saying is, it's a waste of a human life to just kill him. He'll probably spend an amount of time in jail, yes, but probably not a death sentence.
I didn't say it was a death sentence, but you were saying, well, go be a guard.
No, that's not what I said. I said he'll spend an amount of time in jail, but he can probably find some use either as labor to work off his sentence or after his release as a properly employed guard rather than a criminal one.
I think you're being optimistic about that situation, but fair enough.
I mean, he's a better sword arm and better trained than most guards I've run across.
Yes, and I'm sure that will cost some innocent person their life.
Was there anything else upstairs?
No, there wasn't. Meanwhile, Miracle, you went outside.
Yeah. I'm looking for someone who's here.
There are people. Like, are you looking for a civilian? Are you looking for someone that looks like they might be in charge? What are you looking for?
So, clearly pretty beat up and with a giant bat in tow.
Mm-hmm.
Miracle will just go up to probably the nearest civilian after coming out of the inn.
All right.
Hey, we took care of some mercenaries. Do you know who, like, the mayor or equivalent rank is?
Yeah, they will indicate towards the keep that has the flaming catapults.
Cool. Walk towards the keep that has the flaming catapult.
You walk towards the keep that has the flaming catapults. Inside, you find mostly civilians. You don't actually see any armed guards.
Not surprised.
Yeah, can we help you?
My party and I took care of some, I guess mercenaries would be the best term at the inn, and we have one detained.
Right, those guys. What happened?
We beat them up.
I mean,
with beer bottles.
That seems excessive.
After they tried to kill us. We gave them several opportunities to surrender if you care about things.
Why do they try to kill you? They've been mostly just grumpy and irritating, but not really all that harmful.
And Miracle actually. So a while back, we ran into a group of people who allied with the same organization, who was sort of extorting and threatening a town. I don't know. I actually wasn't awake at the time. And so we had to kill them to defend the town, which had just been had lots of giant boulders thrown at it. And something about a horse that one of our party members is now very attached to. And so ultimately, we ended up, I don't know, I think someone recognized someone. I honestly didn't really care. And then they said, let's kill you. And we said, that's not very nice of you. And they said, let's kill you. And we said, if you do this, you will die. And they said, we don't care, and continued stabbing.
If you try to kill us, we'll kill you.
Do I even
back.
get a persuasion roll?
Yeah, give me a persuasion roll.
Four.
That's about what that speech was, yeah.
Well, their modifier is higher than that, so look at you.
They could roll a natural one.
It's an opposed roll. Natural ones don't matter. I think perhaps you should take me down to see what's happened.
That was the plan. And turn around.
And he follows. Eventually, those of you that are inside puzzling what to do over this thing, and Flint and Milva, you guys come back down. Yeah, there's nothing upstairs.
Miracle will down a handful of good berries on the route back.
All right. Miracle enters back.
As soon as we come back down, Milva will start checking pockets.
All right. You find each of the downed mercenaries has 16 gold in a pouch on their belts.
They're richer than the officer?
I mean, you don't know what the officer was spending his gold on. Maybe they've been saving that up after weeks of mercenarying. Eventually, as you're gathering up, and there are 12 people, so 16 times 12, that's how much gold they have on them.
Excellent.
Eventually, Miracle walks back in with a figure that looks to be of some manner of importance. It's a fairly tall human with black hair sort of sprawled down their back. Fairly well muscled and broad in the shoulder, with a nice bearded face, who sort of steps in. Doesn't looks like somebody who's used to swinging a weapon more than riding a pin, but doesn't actively look armed and armored.
Waves. Tyron, Gimler found the person in charge. I explained what happened, but I don't think I was.
Yeah, let me.
And he just sort of stands in the doorway with his arms crossed. So
Just got a motion at fire, and I was like, "Oh."
If what I have-
authorities.
if what I've been told is correct, a roving band of marauders came in here and murdered about 13 mercenaries that were actively helping to defend the town from trolls and other things,
A little
regardless
backwards.
of their intentions or their roughhousing with my citizens.
A little backwards there. Let me fully explain the
So
situation.
you're telling me you know more about the town that I've been in for the past several years than you know more about this town that I've been in for the past several years, having only arrived here today.
No, but I do know more about the fight that just broke out that you weren't here for.
Then please enlighten me.
So, we arrive in this town, weary from the road and looking for a place to rest, and we enter this town and find the Zentarum in your inn. I say, pointing to the Zentarum logo on one of these individuals.
Yeah.
Having had previous run-ins with the Zentarum, who have ransacked the town of Nightstone after it was attacked by giants, we were naturally on edge, but were mostly seeking to find a place to rest. The Zentarum were not willing to let us have rest in this inn. Their specific threat was we can either find rest elsewhere or find rest in the graveyard. We told them that if they went to blows, they would die. They seemed to not believe us and pressed the point, drawing swords, and we were forced to defend ourselves. I've left one alive. If you'd like him to corroborate the story, I've told you nothing but the truth.
Give me a
Also, I
persuasion roll.
want to point out they did not actually offer us the opportunity to find rest elsewhere in the town.
Do I still have Emissary of Peace? I don't know how long it took the guy to get
It's
here.
been a few minutes, so no.
20.
So, you're telling me that for some reason, the rough but otherwise fairly helpful mercenaries that have been helping us out for the past few weeks just threatened your life out of nowhere for no reason.
They are Zentarum. Murder is sort of in their modus operandi.
Give me a deception roll for that, because you did actually goad them.
I
You
mean,
you still have a good deception roll either way.
I have it. No, I don't. I'm not proficient in it, but 14.
Okay. Did anyone else have anything else they wanted to add into that?
I mean,
No, I
No, the GM is changing
I
the
let the
story, so
paladin
it's
go
fine.
with the
I'm
authority.
not changing the story.
No,
Three of
we
you
did
were goading them.
that is legit. We went there. We went to that inn not just to it wasn't a random place that we went to find lodging. We went there because we knew the gents were there.
It was the only inn. to
Yes,
find
we did.
us,
Hold on, let me see if Kinvalar is smart enough to stay quiet.
But when dealing with authorities, let
Yes, he is.
paladin deal with it. That's-
Because his point would not what he wants to say would not help the situation any at all.
The man sort of leans over and whistles sharply, and a few more civilians come in. You notice these guys are armed, but they still look like civilians. All right, clean up this mess, grab him, we'll go talk to him. And they sort of begin dragging bodies out into the street. Looks at the rest of you.
I indicate to the Zentarum guard, and he's actually, while they did try and kill us, he is quite proficient, and I think it'd be a waste of a life to just put him in jail for trying to kill us. Right. I mean, he might serve a little bit of time, but I think he's more useful, especially you mentioned that they were protecting the town.
He sort of holds a hand up to stop you talking. Right. I appreciate the intent that you all had. Please go about your business and leave. We don't need adventurers running around killing people because they happen to be on the wrong side of an argument.
I mean, they did draw swords on us first.
We draw swords on a lot of things here. And as they sort of clear out the bodies, and this individual just sort of heads out, leaving the tending to the bodies to the people that are dragging them out.
I mean, I just kind of looked at the rest of the group. I mean, you can't draw swords and expect to be upset when you lose.
Let's find a new town.
Well, it's the middle of the night, isn't it?
It's fairly late, yeah.
Let's find a house.
Kinvalar's statement did not change based on that information.
I mean, I understand the Trollmoors kind of create a certain amount of personality, but I still find it strange that one expects one not to fight back when swords are drawn on.
I mean, it's not unreasonable to expect that of you. You are weird about humanoids.
I want to see if he's actually on the take.
You want to what?
Oh, he
Inside
probably is. I don't care.
See if he's on the take.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I want to do that too.
That's fair, actually, now that I think about it.
Insight check,
because
was that
he's
it?
already very...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Insight checks.
He's already a little not pleased with the idea of, he was just... The armed extortionists were just roughhousing with our citizens. Which is the most loaded statement I've heard in a while.
Not terribly good on my part. And 8.
Right.
Jesus
Another 8.
Christ.
So, firing. Is anybody else doing an insight check? I have 2 8s and a 22. All right. Insight, an 18. Which one was that from? Was that from Milva or Flint?
Milva.
Milva? All right. So, Milva and... So, Kinvalar and Farbolt, this guy is sort of... he has the stance and personality and sort of carrying himself of a frontiersman, which are sort of already a rough and tumble type of person that don't... They don't react the same to situations that city folk do. Like, as much as this is a city, this is a frontier town, for all intents and purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to read them because they're used to dealing with shit day in and day out.
Right.
Fyron and Milva, from the sense of what you get, it seems like, from this guy's perspective, whether or not that's true, and also just sort of since you get it from the people that are helping him drag the bodies out as well, the Zentarum were more use than detriment while they were here. It doesn't seem like, and you sort of look around and sort of like, it doesn't, aside from what you guys have done, it doesn't seem like the inn had been damaged all that much. It didn't seem like there was a lot of, when you came in, none of these guys were bloodied, like they've been beating the crap out of people on a daily basis. None of the civilians look like they've been murdered in the streets. It was just quiet. And like from the way he was talking, it seems to you that from his perspective, they were less trouble than they were less trouble than they were more useful than trouble. Whatever their reasons for being here were.
Right.
I mean, that's only a matter of time until they find the tomb of Mornbryn, but... Oh, right, we didn't mention that.
I'm sure the people... Yeah.
I'm sure they're
Kinlar
aware
would have
of
thoughts about that he is keeping to himself.
So that's what you are able to figure out. It doesn't seem like he's part of the Zentarum. It just seems like they were a useful tool while they were here.
Okay.
Which is a pragmatic outlook, but only lasts so long as the Zentarum aren't actively trying to steal from the town.
Pragmatic but objectionable.
Hey, should we go find somewhere to rest up? You guys look like shite.
I'm
Yes,
fine.
I'd appreciate
yeah.
that, actually.
Fine-ish.
Well, you
Fine,
haven't. You have an empty inn currently. Only slightly
go
only
upstairs
slightly
and rest?
bloodstained.
I'll do
Might
it.
as
Blood signs are on the first floor.
We all go upstairs and rest.
Certainly. I could use a night.
Absolutely.
Are we taking a long rest or a short rest?
Long rest, please.
Long rest.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell they look like they've been on the road for a while, and you guys have been working all day too, so you're kind of tired too. So yeah, the group of you go upstairs, find rooms,
I'll secure the front door first.
you close the door, bar it, and you all get yourselves a long rest.
Excellent.
So recover all your health, recover all your spells, recover all the things you recover on a long rest. Wake up in the morning.
When we head out of the inn, I leave 50 gold on the bar counter for repairs to the building.
All right, remove 50 gold from your sheet.
Yep.
And you guys head out. And again, town is still pretty quiet as you leave out. Doesn't seem like, even with the sort of the scuffle that you guys had, it doesn't seem like much affects this town. They live on the edge of the moors and are constantly under threat of troll attack, so they seem to be pretty unfazed by most that goes on.
It's a city that I've seen before in several settings.
Yeah.
So what are we looking for in this town?
In this town, we were just kind of stopping by, actually. We've been dealing with the giant unrest and been trying to solve that. But one of the things that we're looking for are giant artifacts that have been hidden in Uthgar barbarians' burial mounds.
Hey Flint, you want to go find? Hey Flint, you want to go find a rock named after you?
Oh yeah, Jerry.
Because I believe our next destination was Flint Rock.
Hey, so what did you find out on the way while we weren't with you?
So, I'll be honest. A lot of stuff has happened.
Yes.
You know Force Grey, the adventuring guild.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
One of their members is a giant, a frost giant by the name of Harshnag. Harshnag found us looking for assistance, and took us with him to the hall of a giant oracle, basically, a sort of mystic divine source of knowledge, trying to find out what's been going on with the shattering of the Ordning. And we've been given a task by the oracle to find some of these giant relics that are hidden in the Uthgar barbarians' mounds to get proper answers on what we can do to solve this problem.
Right.
So we're currently going through the mounds, seeing which ones we can get, hopefully peacefully if possible, but if not, we'd improvise, I guess.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so you guys head out, heading south along the Serpent River, following the path, heading towards Flint Rock, which is basically, you can actually see it as you exit. Not it, but you can see the hills that it sits in, just about half a day's journey across the moors. Now, the question is, do you want to cross the moors to get to it, or do you want to go around?
Whichever way you guys want to go.
So, I know we covered this last time, but if it's my favorite terrain, I can make it not that much longer, but I don't know if it's actually grassland or forest.
Well, So going around the moors, even with your favorite terrain bonuses, it's going to take about about 2.5, 3 days. Going straight across the moors, it's going to take a little over a day.
But we have to
I
go
don't
through
care
the
about
moors.
Is this time sensitive?
Yeah, you have to cross the moors.
About half of it.
Is the mission time sensitive?
Not as such that we have a specific deadline, but faster is better.
Okay.
Because, I mean...
Our deadline is we would really rather the giants not destroy
Rampage.
everything.
That one. As the longer we take,
Cool,
the more the giants cause problems.
Flint would be all for most direct route.
Alright. Let's head straight through the marsh then. Hopefully we won't run across too many trolls.
Oh, we've got serious lag.
All right. So I just need one D100 roll.
Okay, I got it.
Sorry,
got
there was a bit of lag then. What was that?
8.
An 8. I was asking for a D100 roll. Let's see. An 8. Okay.
Is it trolls? In the troll moors.
Give me perception rolls, everybody, as you cross the troll moors.
Okay.
Natural 20.
26.
Non-natural 20.
Okay, now I'm worried because we all rolled most of us rolled decently well.
That's because, again, we haven't gotten to combat yet.
Is it on sight perception?
Yeah, visual.
So I've got advantage because of my robe. And then
No, roll for me.
There's Flint just singing a song.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
So Flint is wandering around, just whistling, blissfully ignorant of anything. The marsh is a bit soggy. It's a bit mucky, but it's you're fine. You're comfortable here. Everyone else, you're obviously on edge and keeping an eye out because you never know what's going to happen. So you do see where Flint misses when as you're passing through over a particularly rocky outcropping in the moors, when 10 barbarians just sort of erupt from underneath the fog of the moor, having been laid in ambush. You actually see them as they begin to move, so they don't quite get the jump on you, and we roll initiative.
Oh, great.
excellent.
I was really hoping to negotiate with the barbarians of the mound, but okay, here we go.
Oh, you're not at the mound yet. You're still in the moors.
That's fair, but we're near the mound, so I can assume these guys are from Flint Rock.
Where's my?
Well, I mean, unless they don't look like Uthgard.
They look like Uthgard. All right.
Yeah, you're on the same page as me with the I was hoping to negotiate thing.
I mean, like, Uthgard barbarians kind of have a distinct look.
They do, but you don't know. You can't tell what tribe they are.
Yeah.
Hang on, I need a thing.
So which one's which then?
So, also I need...
On our initiative, the 18 is Milva and the other is Flint.
I need some things real quick as I grab information and characters. Nope, that's not right. I have to go all the way back to Nightstone to grab your tokens.
Have fun with that.
There'll be some quick travel.
Da 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 da. And back.
Teleportation.
Ta-da! I'm just that good. So go ahead and arrange your. So go ahead and arrange yourselves however you want, sort of within that area.
God. We are surrounded.
They're surrounded, but not only Flint is surprised.
Damn, I'm surprised.
Flint is always surprised.
Every day is a surprise with Flint. Should have put me next to you.
I am.
So yeah, arrange yourselves however you want in that area, along with your bat as well, Aaron.
So I will put me there.
And we
Yeah, I'd
have
probably be in the back.
add.
Assuming we're traveling southeast.
All right, I need initiatives from
Oh,
Firebolt, and Firen just got his, and Miracle as well.
Mine's
Flint has-
15.
mine's
Sorry,
an
Flint-
8. I rolled before the token came up.
Flint has 9 and Milva's 18.
Did yours didn't roll?
Yeah, it did.
They rolled twice. The Flint's initiative is right.
No. Flint's did. I'm trying to find miracles.
Milva's is right after Farbolt's.
I'm trying to find miracles.
Oh, miracles. Okay.
Directly above. Wait, no,
That's a
my
perception roll. That was the perception roll you rolled previously.
Where's my stupid initiative then? There you go.
There. Yeah, descending. All right. So none of you are. Flint is the only one surprised. So Flint's the only one who's missing this first initiative round. Everyone else, you are aware and able to react.
But Milva's initiative is on 18. And mine on 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Roll.
Okay. I see 3. Oh no, that's Farbolt. That's why. Okay. Yours is a 9.
Ah, yes, Firebolt is not on the sheet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I missed. All right, Farbolt's is 8. All right, now let's descending. All right, Milva, you get to go first. As you see these humanoids dressed in skins, wielding spears, sort of leap out from the fog beneath the moors and onto sort of the land area.
So I'm assuming they look threatening.
Very much so, yes.
I am going to use a bonus action to hide behind somebody.
All right, give me a hide check.
Behind. Yeah, because I'm a halfling.
Yep.
So. Try that.
Wait.
Fortunately, I can't do that.
So that's 31. I don't know why it's on advantage, but the first roll was 31.
Yep, so a 31 to hide behind, we'll say, Firen, the big shiny one.
Sure.
All right.
And then I will shoot. Is that the leader? Is there a leader?
There is one that looks dressed marginally different.
Okay. I will aim and shoot my crossbow at that one.
All right. So roll me an attack with advantage because you are stealth.
Aye.
27 hits. Roll damage.
27.
So just click the light crossbow +1 name on the roll, and it'll roll damage for you.
The key?
In the chat. No, in the chat where it rolled.
Oh, sorry.
There it is. No. There you go. Hit it on the first one because your first one wasn't actually a crit. Actually, I'll just take that 12. We'll say you hit 12. All right.
Roll it plus my sneak, right?
Yep. Go ahead and roll your sneak attack.
19.
All right. So yeah, Milva just sort of slides behind Fyron, hiding in his shadow, and then whips around with a light crossbow and fires off, and this crossbow bolt just flies out and gets this figure that's wearing slightly different assortment of hides in the shoulder with a crossbow bolt, and just spins them around a bit, but they're still standing. And it is now their turn. Do you want to move anywhere, or you just want to stay where you're at?
I'll stay where I am at the moment.
Okay. So the warriors wielding spears close in, and I think they all waited until you were within range to ambush, so 5, 10, 15, 25, 5, 10, 15. And as they come in, you just hear them roaring out this sort of battle cry. Do. 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10. 20. Is the bat flying above, or
The
is it
bat would not be low enough for a sword to hit.
All right, that's fine. All right. So we have 2 attacks coming in on Fyron, 2 attacks coming in on Miracle, 2 attacks coming in on Kinvalar, 2 attacks coming in on Flint, and 2 attacks coming in on Firebolt. We're going to start with Fyron. A critical hit hits Fyron.
Oh.
Of course there was, because
Yes, it does. And go ahead and roll damage for me.
You take 10 points of piercing damage.
And then it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. 10.
But take 10 radiant damage.
All right.
As I rebuke the violent.
Boom. Still standing. Another one comes in at you, Fyron. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
All right, that one misses. And Kinvalar, going around counterclockwise.
Yep.
Does a 21 hit you?
Hold on just a second. Yeah, no matter, since I haven't had time for Blade Song, yes. Wait, yeah.
Okay.
Even if I were to shield, that would only get me up to 20.
Okay, so you take 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And a 16, does a 16 hit you?
Okay, now I do shield, and
Right.
it does not.
So 16 misses. Flint! Out of nowhere, these things with spears are hitting you. Or trying to. Well, with a critical hit, they do hit you.
My God, man!
You take... I just click buttons. They roll. You take 4, 5, you take 7 damage from the crit. They don't do a lot of damage.
Okay.
And a 12 misses you, I'm pretty certain, because I worked on your character sheet a minute ago. Firebolt. A 12, I think, misses you.
That misses.
A crit hits you, though. For 10 for 10 piercing damage.
I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge
All right.
to reduce that to 5.
All right. Miracle. An 8 misses you. And a crit hits you for 4.
What are you doing?
For 4 damage.
I want to clarify that these rolls are not largely being made with advantage unless they're getting it from some source other than...
They are all being made with advantage because they have pack tactics.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Uthgards get pack tactics pretty regularly.
Yep.
If they're getting advantage, that makes a little more sense.
That's why there are 2 on each of you. And that makes it Kinvalar's turn.
How
All right.
much did that hit for? You never actually said.
4 damage.
4.
So
Very
Blade
small.
Song is active. Let me see here. There is currently. I'm tempted. Are there perchance large sticks, rocks? Do you want to create a bunch of little minor tokens?
So you're in a bog. Most things that would be like liftable like that are under the fog and water,
But
and
I would have
not
to
in.
find them.
Yeah, you'd have to
Okay.
actually go out and find them. The rock that you're on
Okay.
is pretty clear.
That is fair. In that case, I will. I don't have any great lines of sight at the moment. I had to spend my bonus action to go into Blade Song. So I am going to cast haste on myself.
Oh, nice.
All right, you cast haste on yourself. Your AC is increased by 2,
Which means it is now a without shield at 21.
All right. You also have double your movement speed, and you can you have an extra action you can use to attack, use an item, or move or dash. Yeah.
Correct. And I am not moving at the moment because that would be a whole hell of a lot of opportunity attacks.
I assume you're going to attack though.
It takes your action to cast.
You have an
haste,
extra
Marcy.
action you can use to make a
You
weapon
can
attack
still
now.
use that during
Yes.
this round.
You
Okay.
get that as soon as haste is cast.
Okay. Then yes, I will. On let's say this guy in between Fire and I. He looks like a good person to attack. Where in my big ass list of things is attacks his scimitar?
Go all the way back.
Oh, Moon Touch Scimitar. That would be a 20
A 20 hits.
for 5 slashing damage.
Which one were you hitting?
This happy-go-lucky fellow right here.
He dies. That was the guy that got rebuked.
Yeah. I chose well.
You just spin around and Barbarian falls.
Right? And that is my turn.
All right, firing.
Okay. Sweet. So, centered on Milva. Please, everyone, if we could just stop. This doesn't really. I'm really tired of just killing people because they show up and don't choose to talk first, and I cast Calm Emotions.
All right, what is the damage for strong emotions and group of each on 20 foot radius sphere? Choose charisma saving throw. Choose a fail. So everyone in the party needs to make a charisma saving throw as well.
Yeah, if my party fails, for them I choose to suppress Charmed or Frightened. For enemies, I choose to suppress Hostility.
All right.
Because I choose for each creature.
What we were in?
Wisdom save, you
Wisdom.
said?
Charisma.
Save.
Oh, charisma, yeah.
Charisma.
2.
That was for Milva. And then doing Flint's now.
What's your DC?
15.
18 and 19.
Oh.
The mob gets a collective save because they're pretty pathetic otherwise.
Also because you don't want to click that thing as many times as you would have to.
9 times? Yeah, no.
Well, those of my teammates who failed get to suppress any effect causing them to be charmed or frightened.
Nice.
So yeah, you read out these words and you look out and you just like looking in the eyes of these people, you can tell they are on some rage right now. They're not looking to calm down or talk.
Fine.
Very similar to the barbarians that you fought at the temple, at the oracle, the Eye of the Allfather.
I look at Miracle. You intending to mostly just be support for this?
I was going to also ask them to stop, but yeah.
All right, then I cast Sanctuary on Miracle.
Okay.
All right. That makes it the shaman's turn. The shaman calls out, beseeching their god in the language of Bathi, and casts.
I counterspell it.
You have counterspell?
I do have counterspell as a redemption paladin.
Yay! What level?
I only have third level
Only have
spells.
third level? Let me see what spell they can actually do.
I mean, that saves me a counter spell, so thank you.
What
I'm the
level?
I'm the support caster in this fight.
I know. Yeah, so they call out to their god, attempting to cast a spell, and you fizzle it. They look very confused. All right, Miracle, your turn.
I really like playing a redemption paladin because it's like playing a cleric who doesn't want to fight, but you have a little bit weirder powers.
Miracle.
So I am not attacking because Sanctuary.
Okay.
But I am conjuring animals, which has a range of 60 feet, to put, I think it's 2 dire wolves.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah, there's 2 direwolves.
Yeah, 2 dire wolves next to this lady.
Whoop lamp.
Nom nom nom.
All right, I'm assuming they're attacking. Are they?
I mean, I was thinking I could hold their attack, but I actually can't. I was rereading something. So Miracle will go, we could just not do this. That would be nice.
All right.
Hi, my name is Miracle. I'm sorry we got off on the wrong foot.
Do they attack?
Yeah, they attack.
Okay.
Which does not affect Sanctuary because they're not me.
Yep.
Yep.
One misses. One hits and kills her because she only had 1 hit point left.
Then, they can't move the turn I summoned them, so they'll move later. Technically, they have their own initiative slot, but do you really feel like
they're going to go on yours?
Yep. And then, as my bonus action, my bat can attack.
All right.
So, Bat, who is still above them already, is going to move over to here.
Mm-hmm.
And then get in range and attack.
Beastmasters and summoners interact really interestingly with Sanctuary.
Yep.
Because they're not the ones attacking.
I am being advantage. Because
a 12 hits regardless, but let's see if it crits.
Nope.
Yep, 14 hits.
7 piercing.
7 piercing.
Minimum damage.
The bat swings down and just chomps on this thing. All right. Flint, you're still surprised. Farbolt, your turn. Don't worry, Flint. There will still be plenty around by the time it gets back to you.
I'm gonna make a cup of tea while I'm so surprised.
It will be very sad if it will be very sad if they all die before Flint gets to play with his new sword.
So sad. Let's get to it, guys.
All right, so Farbolt shifts away. Jeff, I think you're muted. I can't hear anything if you're saying anything.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You shift
Much
away,
better.
which
Okay,
provokes
I'm gonna
attacks of opportunity.
disengage from these two guys
disengage,
and
alright.
step back,
All right.
and then I will make attack against this guy right above Miracle.
All right.
Look,
Jeremy, that's just being a dick.
I'm not doing it. That is. I mean, he would, but I'm not going to because I know that would be a dick move.
Also, do you really want to waste the spell slot on the random encounter not very strong enemies?
I mean, I really hope
A
that
14
we-
hits.
oh, okay.
Which one are you aiming at?
The
Sorry.
one right above Miracle.
I was distracted by Jeremy drawing lines of being a dick.
So that should also give me sneak attack.
It
'cause-
does, and
Mir-
he's dead. They have 11 hit points. He's dead.
Yeah, okay. Lightning bolt seems like that's gonna be a waste.
A little bit of overkill.
You rolled one of the easiest encounters you could have rolled. All right. So offhand attack.
I used a bonus action to disengage.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right. So that makes it Milva's turn again.
Excellent. So, where am I?
You're in
You're-
the middle.
You're sort of in the middle of this clusterfuck.
I will attempt to hide it again.
All right, give me a stealth check with
Do my thing.
no advantage, just regular.
No advantage.
20.
28.
Milva ghosts out again.
And she will shoot. Oh no. Do I want to shoot the guy in front of Flint or so?
There's a
The
pair
one-
of guys I stepped
The one
away
in
from.
front of me if you want to go for that one.
Yeah, I'll go for that one then.
All right,
Sure.
roll the attack.
Crossbow. One.
Now, Miracle, you feel the vibration of a crossbow being fired from between your legs
Ah,
as Milva fires and hits. Roll damage and kills the one that your bat bit.
oh, sneak attack.
You can sneak attack to see how much you killed him. You did 8 damage to a dude that had 4 hit points left.
26.
Did 26 damage to a dude that had 4 hit points left.
Oh, yeah.
That makes it their turn. They continue to rage and fight. Shifting up.
As you do.
So Fyron's getting 1 attack on him. Flint and Farbolt are both getting 2 attacks on them. And Kevlar's getting 2 attacks on him.
Okay.
1. So starting with Kevlar, a 20 and a 14 both miss, I believe.
Yes.
As you deftly with your blade, fling, fling, just knock the spears aside. Flint, an 18 hits Flint, a 14 misses. Flint takes 3 points of piercing damage, which I'm sure he cares about.
Not a joke.
How many? Sorry?
3.
Okay.
Farbolt, a 21 and a 20.
Yeah, those will both hit.
So that's 6 and 4 for, again, a total of 10.
I'm gonna uncanny dodge the 6.
So that's 3 and 4 for a total of 7. And Fyron, 10 misses.
Yes, it does.
Just pink.
Poking that metal can with a stick.
Kinvalar.
All right. I will not be a dick.
They're in perfect lightning bolt formation.
That's the problem. Narratively, certainly he would do it. That said,
do it.
Do it! Do it! Do it!
That's totally
you know what?
consistent.
You know what? No. If I murder the lot of them, it's fine because Flint is then free to come down and murder these ones down here.
Yes.
So, my bonus action, I am Misty stepping my elfy ass right here.
Okay.
Thank you. I was really worried you were going to hit my bat.
No, I can't. Do you remember how hard I fought to keep that bat alive last fight?
Yes.
I'm not sacrificing the poor little guy this time. Little. And let's.
I don't think even if they save, they can survive this lightning bolt.
Let's
It
see.
depends. Depends on what level of lightning bolt.
They can't survive this lightning bolt.
Level 3, 38 damage because for once I rolled like a champ.
Yeah, regardless of what they roll, they all. So Flint, you got stabbed. You've been stabbed like twice, and you're like, you feel that rage bubbling up, and you get that sword out, and you're ready to go to town, and then all 4 of these guys that are in front of you just get obliterated in a lightning bolt.
Oh shit!
And
Flint instantly spins round, just looking for something to hit.
And for my other action, because of haste, I am going to throw my I think I've got a dagger. I'm sure I've got a dagger. How do I do have a dagger. I am throwing my dagger at this one.
Okay, roll an attack.
Because Kidvalar is determined to prove that he is a mage tank.
I mean, right now you're proving
not
you're
being a mage tank. You're being a mage assassin.
Yeah, right now you're being a mage DPS. 23 hits.
7 piercing. 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
All right. That makes it Firen's turn.
So Firen just kind of like his face just kind of falls a little bit as he realizes that peace is not actually an option right now. And he is kind of.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Peace was never an option.
So Firen just kind of like brings his one free hand down to the hilt of his sword that he still hasn't drawn yet. And he kind of looks at the barbarian. I'm so sorry. And then just Eidos
Make an
straight
attack.
across.
Natural
15.
one. Please, natural one. That would
It
have
would
been
have been hilarious, but 15.
About 15 hits. Roll damage.
10.
And dead.
2 more left.
Miracle.
Okay. I have 2 wolves and a bat.
You're gonna steal Flint's last 2 kills.
Can
I am
I just point
checking
out at
the
this point, this is exactly what happened the first
tactics
time we
real
played.
Can you hang on real quick? What was the question, Aaron? I couldn't hear. What was the question, Aaron?
You know what? They're supposed to have their own turn, so I'm going to say they probably can do this. They're going to go over to these 2 and oh no, that's not how pack tactics work. Can a giant wolf take the aid action to threaten the thing so much that the other person gets advantage?
Yes.
Okay, then aid action for hitting each of those by a wolf.
All right.
Nice.
So these 2 wolves come over and start harrying.
Yeah. I'm
So don't
not being a dick. I'm just helping it, sort
Don't
of.
frustrate Flint too much.
All right. Is that your turn?
That's their turn. I guess I'll
Okay. Yeah.
holding my attack to attack any of these that survive this round.
Okay. Flint, you turn around. You see these 2 big fuck-off direwolves harrying these 2 other barbarians, and they're like right in line of sight for you.
Yeah, I dive right into the fray. So yeah, there.
The wolves are basically herding the barbarians towards you.
Yeah.
So you have advantage on your attack rolls.
And I look at the barbarian in front of me, and Flint just says, "You never stood a chance, you wee scunner!" And attacks with his flame tongue.
Yep. 23 hits. Roll damage. So Flint just runs over, crying out this battle cry, and just slices through the first one, cleaving him in two, fire erupting off this great sword that he's wielding.
I instantly swing round the other way and attack the next one.
All right. Give me another attack roll. 21 hits. And kills that one too.
Not even raging.
Just
Not even raging.
and two barbarian corpses fall into the foggy moors around you, and initiative is over.
At last, I actually got to fucking kill something. Every time I meet up with you guys, I never get to kill out.
And look, it's cooked already.
It was the first 3 games that I played with you guys. Flint barely killed anything. You all got to it before it.
That is very true.
You gotta go quick, otherwise Kinvalar will murder everything. You know?
You have to move quick.
The DPS who insists to queue as a tank.
Yeah, I would argue that if you kill them quick enough, you are the tank because you prevented everybody else from taking damage.
Yeah.
That's a very DPS mindset. Anyways, Milva, what are you doing? What'd you say you were doing, Milva?
I would like to search the shaman woman.
All right. They don't seem to have much on them other than hides, and each of the warriors had a single spear, and the shaman had a spear and a short bow.
Okay, I'll leave it.
I'm gonna take one of the spears, mostly just to use like as a walking stick.
Sure, you have a
and
spear.
to poke at the ground.
It is a standard spear.
Flint would like to go up to one of the barbarian corpses, and he just says, "You're an embarrassment to barbarians everywhere." And he rips off its loincloth and puts the loincloth in the corpse's mouth. It's just a complete sign of disrespect. And he'll go around and he'll do that to every single one of them.
All right. Well, while Flint is desecrating corpses, what are the rest of you doing?
Shall we carry on?
I think we're good here. Once Flint's done doing whatever
I'll sort of start.
he's doing.
Actually, they're large-sized creatures. I'll hop up on a direwolf.
All right. You all continue on.
Yep.
You rolled 9 challenge rating 1/8 barbarians.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And 1 challenge rating 2 shaman. You finish your mishandling of the bodies and continue on towards Flint Rock. Making your way there pretty quickly. Again, the moor was the quickest path to it. And you find yourselves at Flint Rock. The spirit mound of the Elk tribe, which some of you know, those of you that have a little bit more knowledge of the surrounding area, those of you that are native to the north, is situated in the midst of the Evermoors atop a gnarly knob of flinty stone that's perpetually shrouded in fog. As you approach, you see that it is again similar to the previous to the Shining White that you guys were at. It is sort of a ring. It is sort of an external ring of cairns and burial mounds with an internal ring of menhirs, which are statues, and an altar in the very center. Its rings, cairns, and altar mound are created from piles of heaped rock, barren of plant growth. And the altar in the middle is a rectangular slab of stone, 10 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 3 feet tall. Everything's sort of worn smooth by time. This place seems fairly undisturbed as you guys approach. The cairns are piled up. There's no indication that there's anything here, other than a pair of elks who look to be foraging for moss, sort of roaming around the burial mound.
Flint will just literally go and sit by one of the cairns, and he'll be looking at the elks, and he's going to do his barbarian ritual.
What?
I can't remember what it's called, but it allows me to like speak to animals.
Yeah. So you took you're a path of the totem warrior barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you perform the ritual that lets you speak to the animals, and the elks seem to be watching you. They're sort of shyly staying a little bit beyond 60 feet from you, but they don't seem to be threatened at the moment.
Yeah. And that's going to take like 10 minutes anyway, like if other people want to do stuff.
Yeah. So the rest of you?
Start examining the altar. Looks like I'm going to try not to disturb anything.
So give me an investigation check. So looking at the altar, you sort of determine that the slab that makes up the altar weighs several tons, and is definitely too large to be lifted or moved by you, or by any of your party, at least as an individual.
Do I still have wolves, or has it been too long?
It's been, how long did the wolves last? An hour?
I think it's an hour.
Yeah, no, they're gone by now.
Oh.
Like you're far just by looking at it and by judging by the creatures that you have previously experienced in the past, you'd figure this probably would require a giant to actually move, or a good crowd of normal sized people. There goes William.
Bye, William. Any secret levers?
Give me an investigation check.
Looking for anything hidden? Any mechanical things or anything like that? Investigation. Oh, 7.
No, it doesn't seem like anything. It doesn't seem like anything is designed to move this altar. This altar seems to be a permanent installation.
Anything around it that's of interest, or any tracks, anything like that?
There are the tracks of the elks that have been here.
No giant boots.
No, this mound seems fairly well preserved.
Right.
Give me a second
So-
to look through the beasts options real quick.
I mean, if you figure looking at it, you figure that if all of you worked together, you could probably slide this slab away if you needed to.
Have we been told what these artifacts look like?
We have no idea.
Yeah.
They said they were artifacts from giants, and we found a shield, and it could be anything.
You found a shield. You found a mask. Those are the two things.
Yeah, if we can work together on it, and if we can't get it that way, I can summon a few war horses, and we can.
Could you summon like
this
some?
thing to a whole bunch of war horses and have them drag it out of the way?
Before we completely desecrate this burial ground, would it be possible, like burrowing creatures to see what's underneath?
Anyone know of something of the challenge rating that is a beast that can burrow?
Badger, I would assume.
Badger, moles.
I don't know if that's actually in the DMG, but I would assume a badger can burrow.
Don't think a badger can, but I will look it up. Mole.
Yeah, badgers
is
burrow.
not a thing I have access to because it doesn't exist. But
But small, you can up to a challenge rating of like 3.
Badgers can
up
burrow
to a
5
challenge
feet.
rating of 2.
2, but yeah,
because
so
they
you know
don't have
something.
higher level spells.
But
I've got
Bad-
the thing here.
Badgers can
something-
burrow. Badgers can burrow 5 feet speed.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I can summon an army of badgers.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I don't mean to.
Before
Wouldn't
it's like,
that disturb the burial site as well?
You
I'm
could summon giant badgers.
That's challenge rating a quarter. What?
yep.
having an animal dig underneath to see what's under there would be less disturbing than just moving the entire thing if we don't have.
I
Or
suppose.
we can just move the altar.
All right. Lots of tiny badgers, or less, but still a fair number of giant badgers.
Giant
I
badgers.
put giant badgers. That way, if anything does happen, they might be able to help.
I mean,
Okay.
my only concern is giant badgers are medium-sized. They're person-sized, so that would be like a person swimming through the burial mound. So, in terms of disturbing, again,
Unfortunately, our cleric isn't here to very vehemently object to this. So what?
I mean, with a 5 religion check, typically things that are buried aren't meant to be disturbed, regardless of how you disturb them. So,
Cool. So in that case, I just realized they don't all technically have to be the same kind of creature, from at least from what I can tell of the spell text.
One thing that digs and then something that can help us haul.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Stupid roll 20, stop being slow.
Alright, so you summon an badger.
Okay, I'm going to summon. Giant badgers are challenge rating a quarter, so I'm going to summon one giant badger. Because you only need one to
Dig.
dig. And 3 wolves to help us out in case something happens, and also because wolves are fairly dexterous and tiny. And because it's a medium-sized hole, at least one of us could probably get through it if we need to.
Like the
Through
little
the
dwarf.
corpse pile. if
Like that the halfling.
Like the halfling. Yep.
So the beaver. So yeah, this medium-sized beaver and 3
Badger.
wolves, or badger, not beaver, badger. I don't know why I said beaver. Medium-sized badger appears.
Badgers?
I won't lie, I was thinking about ninja platypi.
I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't do Ninja Platypi.
I don't know.
And begins to dig. And as the badger begins to dig, we're going to take a quick break so we can try to solve William's technical issues and get him back in the call. So we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Let's enjoy that.
And we're back. We have returned our paladin from the Shadow Realm, and had done our obligatory fuck you Skype. So, the badger. So, Viren, what you missed basically is Miracle summoning a giant badger to dig underneath the altar to see what's underneath there. Because the altar slab is huge and it has like sort of several tons and would require all of you pushing together to move it.
So I want to see what's there first.
Yeah.
I also summoned some wolves to help out.
So the badger digs underneath. It's medium sized, so actually it can just do that. And what order have you given it? To just dig and look, or dig and bring back, or what?
Dig, determine what's there. If it's something if it's one or two things you can easily bring back, just bring it back. If it's not, come back and report, because they're fey creatures and they can understand complex orders.
Yep. So yeah, the giant badger burrows underneath the slab, and after a few moments, you see it backing out of the hole that it made. And as it's sort of backing out, bringing with it a 5-foot-long mithril spear tip.
Whoa. There anything else?
Alrighty.
Nope, nothing else underneath.
Cool.
Because now we can fill this hole back in, and we won't piss off too many people.
Yeah, with the badger's help, I guess we fill back in the hole.
Badger goes back in and just starts filling back in the hole. Badgers can do that.
Does anybody want to try and determine that this is what we were looking for?
Oh, it's a fun.
Oh, I have done a lot of giant research lately.
It is a spear tip that is longer than the spears you guys currently have on you.
So it is safe to say I will roll a history check just to be sure.
Go ahead.
I mean, is this the...
Yes, this is a giant spear tip. That's what the 11 and 13 get you. And Kinvalar, looking at it, it sort of radiates a faint magical aura as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If we didn't have to...
I will Arcana roll for it then.
Sure.
24.
The aura it radiates is faintly divination. It probably doesn't have any actual effect anymore, but when it was whole, it probably had some sort of divination magic attached to it.
Well,
I know the names of all that I kill with this spear. That's not relevant anymore now that they're dead.
I got an 18 on history check for the spear tip.
You don't know.
Just a spear tip.
Like, it's a spear tip. Like, there's not... These relics are so ancient that they come from... These relics, and Miracle knows this from research previously done, but these come from the time when giants ruled the land, which is millennia ago. So, like, there's not much known. These are just
I wouldn't be terribly surprised if most of these have some level of magic, given how long they've lasted.
Yeah.
Also, they're like sacred relics.
I'm gonna take it. I finished that. Flint's finished.
Yeah. So you finished your
doing his
ritual. You finished your ritual. So would you like to talk to the elks?
Yeah. He's just gonna ask whether has anybody else been by this place? Any other kind of two-legged beings?
You get back a sense that the only time anybody ever comes here is when they're coming to bury their dead.
And can I decide from them what kind of dead it is? Like, is it more giants?
They're the elk tribe Utgard barbarians. So
Right,
they're mostly humanoids, but other races occasionally.
Okay, and I tell them not to fear the rest of the group. That they're friendly.
They understand your statement. They still seem to be keeping their distance, just because they're elks and they startle easily.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
All right. So yeah, you guys have. I'm assuming the mithril spirit tip goes in the bag of holding.
Yep.
And-
Kinvalar, you can put it in yours.
Yes.
So you put it, and it's heavy. It's about 75 pounds. The spear tip, and you. And then it goes into the mithril bag, into the bag of holding, and the weight vanishes.
Yay.
Hmm. What's our next mission?
So the just looking at the map again. So you guys are at Flint Rock now. I think the previously proposed suggestion had been to go down to Yarder and use a teleportation circle to go to Mirabar or somewhere else. You know the other places. You know that you only need one item to get an answer, but you guys are sort of looking to get the most that you can to get the most answers you can.
Yeah.
So there's one near Mirabar and one near Everland.
There's one near Mirabar. There are two near Everland.
Oh,
There's Stone Stand and Grandfather Tree. Grandfather Tree is in the High Forest, though, which, thanks to Miracle, you guys can traverse the High Forest without too much difficulty, but it is still the High Forest.
Tell me more about this high forest.
It is a large forested area. It is populated largely by wood elves and other things that live in forests and might be potentially dangerous.
Alright, let's go there then.
I mean, anybody that wants can make a history check about the High Forest if you want to learn more information.
Yeah.
So,
21.
Anyone? 24.
24, which was a natural 20.
Yep. Whose history roll is that? I'm thinking that was Milva, because it's a positive modifier, not a negative one.
Yeah.
So all of you, what Kinvalar said is true. All of you know that it is this massive ancient forest that has a variety of things living in it, including wood elves and barbarians and things. Kinvalar and Miracle, you both know that it is also the home of treants. And stags with antlers as wide across as a wagon, and brown bears bigger than large sheds. It is this ancient forest of magic and nature, home to druids and home to barbarians, the Uthgardt barbarian tribe of the Tree Ghost tribe. You know that typically in the outermost fringes of the forest, there are woodcutters that ply their trade. Outlaws also use the forest as a place of refuge, but those who venture too deep into the High Forest are often never seen again because of the various magical dangers. And Kinvalar, you also know that the forest holds many hidden settlements, haunted ruins, fey crossings, and ancient magical wards.
So yes. It is a fairly dangerous place, but it is an option.
And there's also the second burial mound near Everland too, if we don't want to go into the High Forest.
Which one's nearest to us?
Well, via the teleportation circle, which you can technically, if you're including the travel time from the locations that you can teleport to, just by looking at the map, you can get to Stone Stand the fastest because of Miracle's ability.
Okay. You know, I did
Question about teleportation circles.
Mm-hmm.
We've got two people who weren't there for the whole other thing. Can we still use those?
That's a good question.
We have to find out.
It's a matter of if the Harpers will let them in with us. We tell them, well, if they are with us. Then...
Okay.
I think it's more of a permission. It's more of a permissions thing than will it work on them.
Yes, I'm not asking if teleportation magic functions on a barbarian.
Yeah, no,
Right.
no.
I'm not genre savvy. I'm not very setting savvy, but I am that setting savvy.
No, you were told that you all had permission to use the magic circles. You were not told anything about guests, so
Yes.
you don't know. You'd have to ask.
Well,
Who do we need permission from?
the Harpers.
Okay.
We can certainly ask.
I'm sure we can strike up a deal with them.
I did have a thought once we actually get to the location that I probably should have thought of before. So I reach into the bag and pull out the ginormous adamantine rod of locate object that we've had since
you went into the
This might
Evermores.
Going into the troll mullers.
this might be useful once we get there.
It might be useful now, actually. We don't know where all of the pieces are. And if giant things are buried around those mounds, there might be more than one.
That is a fair point. I don't know. So the rod says it has 7 of 10 charges currently. Are those charges that recharge?
Let me look at the Rod of Inidod.
I would hope it recharges, because...
Yeah, I think it's such a D something at dawn, but I can't remember what the dice.
Most of them tend to be, but
Yeah, it recharges 1d6 plus 4 of its expended
okay,
charges.
so it's up to 10. It's almost certainly
It also
up to
requires
10 at this
attunement.
point. I would have to attune it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Hopefully, when I attune it, it becomes smaller.
Here, I will put it in your inventory so you can see it, in your journal so you can see it. So yeah, it'll be back up to its 10 charges at this point.
Okay. Well, give me a minute. Give me a bit of time to tune to it. Let's see if it sizes itself down.
Yeah. So
take
as
a short rest here.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I'll put my wolves to watching things so everyone can rest.
As a,
Does anybody have hit points down?
I'm gonna spend a couple hit dice.
Yeah, I got a couple of
so yeah, you guys take a short rest, and
Flint will sing the song of rest. But
what's your
Flint's not great at singing, so he more kind of dances a lot. So there's a lot of booty shaking. There's a lot of his man boobs jiggling like this. But somehow you feel more rested.
What's the what's the die on
You
your
get
song
an
of rest?
extra 1d6 hit points.
All right.
whenever you heal?
Roll me a d6. That's a 6. Sweet. And
So-
then 1 hit die of my own.
Hey, I got a 6 too.
That I've taken.
You won.
It's good. It's good healing. Anyway, so over the course of the short rest, you attune to the rod, Kinvalot, taking up another one of your attunement slots. Which I think, is that your last one, or do you still have one more?
What do I have attuned? I don't think I have any. I have
Does
the
the
robe.
sword-
The robe is not an attuned item, and I don't think Moon Touch scimitars require attunement.
It's not. I didn't know if the robe was or not. The
No.
sword is not.
And during the
I
short rest,
remember that one specifically because there was a question of whether I would even put it on.
The fire rune. Or who has the runes?
I don't have any of the
I've got
runes.
the ice rune. I
And
think
Miracle's got
Miracle
the fire
has the
rune.
fire rune.
Right, sorry, I've
That's
just
right.
seen
I have
that.
a fire rune.
Okay. That's
And-
right.
We just haven't
Well-
come up against anything where it's relevant.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well-
as you...
Oh, that's the thing it might be. The Enduring Spellbook might require attunement.
No, it doesn't. It's just a spell.
Okay.
During the short rest,
Mhm.
pull out a couple glasses or a couple mugs, and the alchemical jug, and go beer, and hand one to Flint.
Nice.
So yeah, Farbolt
Oy,
pulls out this massive jug that has like many number of different like corks and stoppers in it. Looks at it, says beer, pops one of them off, and then just pours out beer into a glass for you.
I just look him square in the eye with a little tear just coming down my face and just says, "That is the most wonderful magical item ever." And he just necks the beer.
And Pour him another one. I got up to 4 gallons of beer.
You just like open up and just like
taking a long rest. That could have got messy.
hold it above Flint's head.
Yeah.
So, as you attune to the rod, it does indeed shrink down to a more easily wieldable size, Kinvalar.
Okay. And I will. What specifically will? The problem with locate objects is it has to be a. I have to be looking for a specific
I believe
type of item.
I believe the rod can only cast locate object looking for pieces of Vonadon.
Well, no, it can cast locate object for anything. If it's looking for something made of adamantine, its range is increased to 10 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, you could say, I want to locate piece of Vonadod, or Vonadod, and see what it comes up with, something like that. Because you're familiar enough with the magic. Trying to find Vonadod will try to get you to the closest piece of it.
Yeah. All right. I will. I will try looking for a holy relic in this vicinity.
It doesn't detect anything in your bags because
They're in a different dimension.
they're in a
yeah.
different dimension.
Right.
So nothing shows up.
Okay. We're good here.
Any pieces of the giant, the fire giant contraption nearby?
Let me check for that too. Bloop.
Nothing seems to be within 10 miles of you.
Okay.
Good.
Could there be some other magical items in that thing with it?
I don't think you can use locate object for magical item. It has to be a little more specific.
Yeah, it has to be
than
more
that.
specific than that.
I did check the Badger did check the burial mound previously.
Yeah. I think we're...
I think we found everything, and I think it's probably best to leave the Uthgar to their burial mound.
Yep.
Yes, please.
All right. So,
Let's make our way down to Yarder.
heading down to Yarder. It's going to take you about 2 days to get there, so I need 2 D100 rolls.
All right, who's got it? I know Jeremy likes to do these.
Sure, I'll do it again.
All right, and I'll do another one.
Maybe we'll encounter more level challenge rating 1/8 barbarians.
Yay!
Roll a dragon. Roll a dragon.
76.
The 76 first one's going to be there.
And 71.
We're in the same range,
There.
which doesn't actually say much considering the nature of these tables.
Yeah.
You didn't roll right. You didn't roll the right thing.
We didn't roll dragon. Good.
Makes me so mad.
Dude, no, let's do it. Let's fight. There are 6 of us right now at level 9. Let's fight a dragon.
This is the time to do it.
So
Not
going
us.
through the hills, nothing jumps out at you, and you guys get another long rest. So, you can recover your hit dice and various other
Okay.
things.
And more charges on the staff.
Yeah, as you
goes back.
as you get over, so 1d6 plus whatever on the thing.
I mean, I've only used 2, so it
It's full.
even if I roll a 1, it's refilled
yeah.
fully.
As you get back towards the road, heading south into the Desarin Valley, you do come across a horse-drawn wagon heading south towards Yarder. You see it's there. It looks like there are four people, 2 on the seats, 2 walking next to it, just as commoners, heading south towards the town. As you sort of come out from the grasslands and onto the road.
When you say dressed as commoners,
Just as commoners. Their dress indicates commoner. Whether or not you believe that about them is up to you. Looks like they're. It looks like they've got several 10-gallon kegs in the back of their wagon.
See that again?
Looks like they've got about 9 10-gallon kegs in the back of their wagon, the 4 of these that are heading south towards Yarder.
Flint's eyes go very wide.
Give me a perception check, Flint. With advantage, because it's alcohol.
Accepted.
You notice the maker's mark on these. This is ale brewed in Mithril Hall to the north. Dwarven ale.
Nice. I go running after it.
So, the 4 commoners turn and see a raging dwarf running at them. Oh, fuck!
A happy rage.
A happy rage.
Happiness.
But all they see is just a dwarf running at them, like, oh shit! And the wagon starts to go faster.
Like,
We'll run faster.
the group behind Flint tries to catch up to him, but he's a barbarian, so he runs fast.
Everyone give me athletics checks, see if you can overtake Flint. Before Flint overtakes the wagon. Flint, give me an athletics check with advantage, because you're running after alcohol.
Go.
Natural 1, I'm in full plate, man.
Fire's like, oh fuck, Stitch. Okay.
By the way, because even Dwarven Barbarian bats have 50 feet of flight, just gonna keep the bat near enough by that he doesn't that Flint doesn't get entirely lost with instructions to guide him back if needed.
That's a
Farbolt-
9.
Farbolt quickens his pace, but he's not running after him. Mostly he's laughing.
That was Milva's athletics as well.
So,
Yeah.
the group of you start running, and none of you can catch up to Flint, who, after a few moments, Flint catches up to the wagon and just dive bombs into the back of it. And the wagon pulls up to a halt as the people are trying to figure out what the hell just happened.
Flint takes out a little hand axe.
Flint, wait, you have this.
Cracks into the side of one of the barrels and just lifts.
Give me an athletics check again, with advantage.
A what again?
Athletics with advantage.
Athletics with the
'Cause these are 10-gallon kegs full of beer, full of ale. So
And it's like Firen like runs up to as soon as Firen catches up, he's just like immediately. He's like, I'm so sorry for our friend. We'll
So yeah, on the back of the wagon, the rest of you sort of catch up. Again, Firen, you got a stitch in your side. It's hurting.
like
and
trying to run.
you just see Flint with this keg that's bigger than he is, upended above him, and just guzzling alcohol as it pours out.
Got a
into-
happy beer rage.
And as this is happening, Miracle will go, "Hi, my name's Miracle. It's great to meet you guys. Sorry about the weird circumstances."
As in the same breath, Firen is apologizing profusely and offering to pay for the keg of beer that Flint is just downing.
Slowly after a bit, Farbolt does catch up, and he's laughing his head off.
So yeah, you guys make your introductions as Flint. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Is that with advantage
Nope.
for poison?
Just flat.
Okay.
At the quantities you're drinking, it's less poison and more just liquid.
Drowning.
Yeah, it's a drowning save at this point. All right, you're still going.
Well, once I've drank my fill, like once my belly is full, I'll stop and I slump back with just a big grin on my face and just resting on the back of the car.
Which,
just
let's be honest, is when the keg is empty.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And then he literally just like you see his eyes go wide, and then he just lets out the biggest burp ever.
So yeah, you make your introductions and pay for the. It's 10 gold for the keg.
Yeah, I give them 15.
And yeah, they're farriers bringing their peddlers bringing dwarven ale from Mithril Hall, heading south towards they're they're heading south to Yarder to cut over to Tribor and then follow the road down to Waterdeep. So,
Watch out for giants.
yeah, they've had to be quite careful because they have had a few run-ins with giants, but fortunately they've been able to evade most of them. They're all sort of old hands at ferrying stuff up and down the roads. So.
And he didn't expect the dwarf to come out of nowhere.
No, the dwarf was startling. They were expecting something much larger and angrier, and it was confusing. Also, the dwarf is really fast. And they offer to give you guys a ride into Yarder the rest of the way.
Yeah,
That would be most appreciated. Thank you.
Flint will offer to safeguard the beer.
I'm not so sure about that.
I pay them 15 gold for the 10 gold keg.
Okay, they gladly take it. And yeah, you guys ride the rest of the way into Yarder with a bloated Flint sitting in the back next to an empty barrel,
Singing barbarian shanties.
singing whatever the land equivalent of sea shanties are.
Yeah.
Land shanties.
Land shanties. And you guys get into Yarder. So you're back. The caravan continues on its way, and you are in Yarder.
All right. Well, I suppose now we go and talk to the Harpers and see if they'll let 2 additional people follow us through.
All right. So you head over to the secret Harper's hideout thing.
Yep.
And there is a man, a very familiar man whom you've dealt with before, behind the counter, looking up at you. Ah, yes, welcome back. What can I do for you? He says as his sentence changes as he sees the 2 people who are not part of the Harpers come in.
Yes, they're with us. We were wondering if we could bring them along.
Well, that depends. Where are you intending to go?
Everland. They're helping us solve the problem with the giants.
Friends.
You sort of see the sort of the deep breath and exhale through the nose as he just. You can tell there's sort of an internal dialogue going off of.
They're quite reputable. You have nothing to worry about.
As he's thinking, Flint will stump up a little bit closer to him, looking square in the eye and say, "Listen, we've got a... We're using the teleport, right? That's what we're asking for."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've got to use this teleport to help our friends go find this shite. But after that, I'm free. I mean, I could do you a deal. She's really good at getting into anywhere and stealing anything, and there's nothing that I can't kill. So I'm sure that once we're finished with this, we can pay you a visit, and maybe we could help each other out.
Kid Villar, who just talked about how reputable they were, is now massaging his temple.
He raises an eyebrow. Give me a persuasion check, Flint.
Yeah.
Use that bardic charisma.
Yeah. I may well inspire myself as well.
I mean, you always inspire yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey!
A natural 20.
20.
Looks down at you.
Persuaded.
Well, we could always use muscle and a keen blade and dexterous fingers. He sort of
What
strokes
are you
his
going to get
chin.
her to do?
You
Icon, it's your...
looks over at the others. You vouch for these 2.
Yes, they've been stalwart allies in the past and will be again.
I don't know what stalwart means, but I think I got a cream for it.
Despite his hygiene, the dwarf's prowess in battle is impressive.
Kid Villar tactfully allows Farbolt and Firen to speak for them and hope that's enough.
Very well. The Hoppers can always use skilled individuals, and I believe we could indeed find some use for you. You will, of course, there will be entrance rituals and oaths that need to be sworn, but since it does seem like you're in a bit of a hurry, we can forestall those. Here. And hands. He reaches under the counter and pulls out sort of a silver pin, a pair of silver pins that look to be harps, and just sort of holds them out towards Milva and Flint.
I grab one.
Yeah, Flint grabs the other.
Keep those on your person.
He
And
pins it through the skin on his chest.
not literally in a bag. Works. A little blood dripping down from where you just stabbed it in. And when you're done with your allies, return to the building you're going to find yourself in Everland. I'll be there. You should probably pull that back out. It's likely to get infected.
Take it back out, and I go, "It's all right, I'll clean it." And I suck the blood off the pin and put it back in.
That's not what I meant, Flint. You know what?
Right.
I'll help you out.
We'll have use for you. And he leads you all over to the teleportation circle.
Flint takes a single point of damage for stabbing himself with the thing.
Yep, 1 point of damage.
It's fine by me. Worth it.
And with Flint, with a Harper badge embedded in his chest. You all
I hide mine.
get, like you should, yes. You all get into the teleportation circle, and so Melvin, Flint, this is the first time you've been here. You find yourself in another location that is sort of very nicely put together tower, with another mage sort of standing there looking at the group of you come in, looks at the two unfamiliar faces, sees the pin in Flint's chest, puts a hand on his face, and just waves you out.
Kinvalar gives the man a sympathetic smile. I understand.
And the group of you are led out into the city of Everland.
Oh, man.
Wonderful.
All right. I suppose we make our way to Stone Stand then.
Yeah, unless there's something that anyone needs to pick up.
I would like to grab some healing potions.
Yeah, we've got no healing potions whatsoever.
You both have, by the way, over the course of your adventures, you have accumulated 500 gold each.
Okay.
So you both have that in addition to the other things that you've gained.
Did we leave our horses in Silvery Moon or in Everland?
Silvery Moon.
Right.
So is there like a potions shop
Well,
that we can go
You
to?
can summon your horse anytime you want.
Yes,
Cool.
I can, but that
Definitely
would
like to go to the potion shop.
I rather liked my horse.
It's still there.
we should stop by Silvery Moon at some point and retrieve them.
At some point.
So Milva and Flint, you can find, and all of you, any of you that want to buy healing potions, you can buy, in Everland, you can buy standard healing potions for 50 gold, which heal 2d4 plus 2. You can find greater healing potions for 100 gold, which heal 4d4 plus 4, or you can buy superior healing potions for 150 gold, which heal 8d4 plus 8.
Do they do other potions?
Is there a cap on how many potions we can purchase?
No. This is an alchemist that brews his own, so.
I'm going to pick up another greater healing.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up
Any other
2
potions?
graders and a superior, I think.
Okay. They do have other types of potions. What are you looking for?
Potions of haste.
Potions of what?
Haste.
Haste. He does not have those potions, that particular type of potion. He has more standard set. He has a sort of a standard suite of potions that cure poison, potions that let you breathe underwater, things like that. They don't have anything of significant magical effect like haste.
Cool. I'll take 2. Was it 100 for a greater?
Yeah, 100 for the greater.
Yeah, I'll take 2 greater. And how much is a potion of underwater breathing?
50 gold.
I'll take one of those as well.
I'm going to 200 for the superiors. Was that accurate?
150 for the superiors.
Okay.
200 was 2 graders. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yes. So I will pick up, you know what? I apparently more than have the money. I don't know where I ended up with 2,141 gold.
From the bounty.
That sounds right, because you've bought something and I haven't.
Okay. So I will pick up, let's say 4 superiors.
Okay. So that's
600.
Yep. So Miracle grabbed 1 standard, 2 greater, 1 superior.
And I don't know if I can do this with this guy or somewhere else in town, but I am going to try and offload 20 pounds of Rimerace hide and 4 Rimerace teeth.
Yeah, you can offload that here. He can definitely use them for potions of like frost protection in particular. Unless you wanted to take any of the hide to make armor.
I'll look to the others. I don't personally want Rimerace armor, but I'm not going to just cash it in if someone else really wants frost armor.
No, that's quite all right.
Okay.
Because Rimerace armor can, and Rimerace armor, you all can generally know this, Rimerace hide can be used to make high quality leather armor that gives you benefits against cold damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I actually wouldn't mind. I actually wouldn't mind that trying to do that.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys make the decision before you buy your potions in case you want to spend your money on armor instead.
How much of the hide
if we're
do we
providing
have?
the leathers, how much would that armor be?
Yeah, providing the leathers definitely cuts down the cost quite a lot.
And would that be all 20 pounds of hide or not?
It would be about, if you gave the person all 20 pounds of hide, it would get you a bigger discount, but he only needs about 10 pounds of it to actually make the armor.
And how much would that cost?
I'm looking it up right now.
Because I had to pay out a big chunk of money to get access to the Thieves Guild the last time. Where
it's good. So it would normally be. Let me get my price tables. I can find them. Oh, there it is.
Can you though?
So it would normally be about 600 gold to get this sort of armor. Providing all 20 pounds of leather, the armorer says he can get it to you for 300 because he can make 2 suits of armor out of it.
Yeah,
it's going to be +1 studded leather armor with resistance to cold. Actually, Rimerace. With resistance to cold damage, and you don't suffer any ill effects from being in cold environments.
How much is the armor?
I'd certainly be willing to pay for that.
So to get 2 sets would be how much then?
600 gold. If you wanted to get 2 sets with it, 600 gold.
So it'd be 300 each for the people who are interested.
Mm-hmm.
I could be interested, actually.
Okay.
Alright.
If you guys, I can't front much money for, or I can. I'm just not willing to. I can hand over the 20 pounds of armor so that it's cheaper for both of you, if that's interested.
I would be interested, and then I'll front the gold for my set.
Same.
All
right. So
and then, can I sell the teeth, or are those included in?
You can no. You can sell the teeth independently. You could also have them made into weapons.
What kind of weapons can I get?
Well,
I guess
you can get arrows. You can get them turned into arrowheads. You could get them turned into daggers, or you could get them turned into short swords. How many teeth do you have?
4.
So 4 teeth.
And if I remember, they're huge.
Yeah. So each tooth would make 8 arrows. Each tooth would make 8 arrows. 2 daggers or 1 short sword.
Kinvalar, we haven't gotten you anything from the rim race yet. Are you interested in daggers?
I think I'm probably okay. I appreciate it. But I think it would be better put to use with you.
All right. You said 1 short sword.
Yeah, each tooth can make 1 short sword, 2 daggers, or 8 arrows.
And can you quote me a price on?
I do have a tooth as well. I was just keeping it as a souvenir, but if you would like to make it into a short.
No, I'm honestly, I'm thinking that I'm going to buy 2 teeth worth of things: a short sword and a short sword and 8 arrows.
So, because you're providing the materials, each tooth can be turned into one of those things for 200 gold each.
Okay. Yeah, at that price, how much can I sell the remaining tooth for?
The remaining tooth can be sold for 400 gold.
Okay. So selling one of the teeth for 400 gold, and then paying 200 gold on top of that, I'm getting 2 short swords and 8 arrows, unless anyone else wants something from that.
Nope.
Okay. So the short swords are +1 short swords that deal an extra d6 of cold damage whenever they hit something.
Nice.
Yep.
And the arrows are +1 arrows, which means they don't affect your accuracy, but they do affect your damage. That deal an extra d6 of cold damage as well.
Okay.
So Kindler is going to do a little bit of looking around to see if he can pick up a new set of boots. The kind that allow him to leave tracks of whatever humanoid he wants.
You can definitely find those.
Okay.
They'll be 75 gold.
Okay. Perfect. Those will become useful both probably during this and beyond.
Actually, if 1 tooth will make how many daggers? And they'll cost 200 each?
200, yeah.
200 to make 2 daggers.
For the tooth's worth.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the arrows would have been stupid expensive and no thanks.
No, 200 for 2 daggers from one tooth.
Okay. I'm actually going to use my tooth to do that.
All right. You get 2 +1 daggers that do an extra d6 of cold damage when they hit.
Cold fang daggers.
Yep. And so the short sword, basically what they did was they sort of they harrowed down this fang into a slightly curved elven style short sword. Well, 2 of them for miracles. So yeah, it's basically just a curved short sword made of bone that has this permanent sort of frosty fog emanating off of it. The daggers are much the same, just smaller, and the arrowheads actually look like teeth themselves and have this cold aura emanating off them.
Okay.
So the studded leather. What other?
So the studded leather, you guys get it +1 studded leather. So studded leather is 12 plus dexterity, so this is going to be 13 plus dexterity. And it gives you resistance to cold damage. And you are immune to the effects of being outside in cold environments.
Excellent.
So, like, you're not bothered by traversing Northwind Dale, for instance, or
Icewind Dale.
Icewind Dale.
And that was 300.
That was 300 gold. Yep.
And so, if I can get that and some healing potions.
Yep.
So, 2 greater and 1 superior.
Okay, so the graders are 150. The graders are 100, and superior is 150.
Cool.
So that'd be 350 gold.
Yeah. And that's me almost spent.
All right. Anybody else getting anything while you're in Everland? It is a high magic city, so there's lots of shops that you can go to.
You know what? I could probably also use just to bump my just because I do tend to get hit a lot. Some magical studded leather as well.
Right. So they've used all of the hide that you guys had for them. So for you, it's going to cost 600 gold.
600 gold. Doable.
I know this might not work, but can I look for a magical longbow if they have one?
Yeah, they can. You can find one. Longbows are uncommon at +1. So
yes, most weapons are.
That's going to be 300 gold.
Can do.
All right, so 300 gold for a +1 longbow, which adds both +1 to your hit and damage. So the arrows add another +1 on top of that.
Yep. I am saving those arrows, by the way, not just using them. Same with the hawk arrows that are just arrows.
Yeah, I would expect that you would call out when you're using one of the special arrows.
Yeah.
Miracle, you actually while you're hunting for a longbow, you find the same person that sells enchanted bows also sells enchanted bowstrings. If you're looking to them, basically, so bowstrings are single-day use magical items, like they once per long rest use magical items that can add additional effects onto an arrow fired from it. A bow can only have one at a time, but it gives you sort of an extra thing you can do once per day or once per long rest if you're interested in looking for something like that.
What kind of things do they do?
The ones that they have in stock are a blazing bowstring, a freezing bowstring, a acidic bowstring, and a electric bowstring. Which once a day, the next 3 arrows that you fire take on an elemental property and do an extra d6 of damage in that element.
Nice.
You said acidic?
Acidic is one of them, yes.
That sounds suboptimal. I'll take acidic, thanks.
So that's each bowstring is 100 gold.
Okay. I'll get Well,
right.
I have 1 bow. I'll buy 1 bowstring for it.
Yeah.
So
you restring your bow, and as you restring it, you can sort of see the magic taking effect. The bow itself sort of tints green, and the bowstring, while perfectly normal, just is slightly greenish in tint now. As if the wax used to wax it was green instead of purple.
Just
white.
Put the stats in the chat when you have time. But that's that's me shopping.
Yep, I'm good.
I know what a blazing bowstring is because Critter.
There you go. All right. Fire, are you buying anything?
Byron?
He's thinking.
Oh, okay.
Unless he can't hear us, which would be a different
Byron?
issue. Oh, no, he can't hear us because his internet crapped out.
I can hear things.
Okay, you can hear us now? Up, and it's in the middle of crapping out again. We will get back to William momentarily. In the meantime, I'm assuming after William buys whatever he's looking to buy, you guys are going to be setting out.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a good guess.
Okay. And do you need the stats again for the armor, Jeremy, or do you have it?
Oh, no, it's +1 studded leather. It's...
+1 studded leather with resistance to frost.
Oh, I was just going to buy +1 studded leather, but that's even better.
Yeah, they have more materials to do that because they're in the north. Providing the materials let you get it cheaper. But if you wanted to get that, or if you wanted to get a different kind of leather armor, they have options.
No, that's fine.
Resistance to frost plus you are immune to the
Frost will be
effects
useful.
of cold exposure, basically.
Okay. I will just put that as an ability. Resistance to cold damage.
Yep.
Other studded leather.
So it's 13 plus your dex. So it's like, for you, it's basically permanent mage armor.
I now have a 16 armor class.
Yep.
Which goes to 20 when I blade song and 25 if I shield.
So
He will be a tank one way or another, damn it.
I mean, that's similar to what Seth does in Eberron. Who just has studded leather.
That's the fucking fighter.
Yes.
He's a fighter with normal studded leather armor.
Kinvalar is a fighter. Kinvalar has delusions of fighter.
There you go. So while William tries to get back in the call. So
I feel like I need to make the obligatory joke since we are shopping. I want to get 1,000 mirrors.
You can certainly spend all your money on mirrors if you want.
You never know. We might encounter vampires. Actually, you do know. Because, you're the DM. Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. What was Fyron wanting to buy, if anything?
Honestly, Fyron's got most of what he needs. As a redemption paladin, he's got a very aesthetic lifestyle.
I was gonna say,
not needs, wants.
You know what's great about Ilmater from a narrative perspective, but terrible from a metagaming perspective? You don't get shit.
Yeah.
He's got armor. He's got weapons. What?
I think most of what he would really need is just like there might be a couple of common magic items that he might want.
Well, let me know what they are, and I will let you know how much you could have gotten them for as you guys continue on your way to Stone Stand. So it is Stone Stand is. Ooh, that was weird. Stone Stand is a little over 3 days away from Everland, heading basically following the edge of the high forest to the south. So I need 3 D100 rolls to see if you encounter anything on the way.
On it.
Got one.
I'll do one.
All right.
3.
32.
33.
Oh look, dragon.
That's a lot of threes.
Lots of 3s. All right, let me pull up the.
I think our virtual dice are weighted.
As always.
Put them through the saltwater test.
Okay.
I don't want to dump my computer in salt water.
So for the first day, you find nothing.
Okay. Because we already rolled that one.
Yeah. On the second day, you find the remains of a battle. You looking around, you see just coming across it. First, you could see the giant corpses because there are giant corpses here.
Okay.
You see 2 frost giants that look to have been felled by barbarian spears and axes. Excuse me. Burping coffee is an interesting experience. And you also see being picked at by carrion birds of various types. 14 Uthgardt barbarians sort of scattered around the 2 dead frost giants.
Okay.
Any tracks leading away from the battle?
Give me a survival.
Big or
check.
small?
Yeah, just general survival to sort of figure out
Who
what
won?
happened. Who may have
Yeah, I was
survived.
going to
Who
do an
walked away?
investigation for
Yeah,
that.
investigation also works.
That one.
Farbolt.
That one. Look, there's giants.
Farbolt, as far as you're concerned, the birds won.
25.
Miracle, there don't seem to be any giant footprints going away from this place.
I might as well.
You could also make an investigation check if you wanted to, instead of a survival one, if that's better.
It would be one higher.
7.
So
There are no giant
11.
tracks.
Yeah. Kinvalar, you're looking around as they're sort of noticing these various aspects, and you do notice, yeah, there are no, obviously, all of you notice there are no giant tracks heading away. It seems like these were 2 lone frost giants that instigated this, whatever conflict this was. But you do see a handful of human-sized footprints heading north towards the Nether Mountains. So it seems like a couple of the Uthgardt managed to survive the encounter.
Okay. Well, looks like the barbarians ultimately won-ish.
ish.
Well, there's a lot of them on the ground.
A couple of them walked away. But yes, not many of them, so 1-ish. I don't think we need to follow.
Firebolt's looking around a little bit clueless, but is like, which direction did the giants come from?
Looks like they came from the north.
He's got no clue. So
like Kinvalar wouldn't. It looks like they came from the north.
That way, the direction that the giant footprints came from.
Oh,
Do we
that's
know
what
where
those
we're
are.
headed from here? Is it the same direction?
No,
Different
you guys
direction?
are heading east.
Yeah.
I'm really tempted to have gotten the instrument of scribing just so I can have an orange sign soapstone.
Sure,
Because that's what it actually is.
you have it.
You leave short 6-word messages.
You have one for 50 gold.
That would be a white soapstone, right?
No, orange is the one that leaves messages.
White is the
White
one that
is-
leaves
leaves
you.
the summon signs.
Yeah. White leaves you. Orange leaves words. Yeah, you can have one of those for 50 gold.
Wait,
Yeah, you guys are heading east from here to continue on to the stone stand.
Okay.
And Aaron, can you re-roll that? Re-roll that.
Yeah.
D100.
Ken.
Just because
Now the dragon shows up.
battlefield twice doesn't. Yep, nothing
Please,
happens.
dragon.
Nothing happens.
Damn it.
At some point, John is just gonna get fed up with us rolling not a dragon and be like, "Yeah, that was totally a dragon."
No, the dragon unfortunately doesn't happen in the grasslands.
Yeah, the problem is if we encounter a dragon in the north, more than likely that's Klauth. And that's bad.
There are more than just Klauth in the north.
He is like the scariest dragon in Faerun.
old snarl.
Yep.
So, you guys find your way to Stone Stand.
Yes.
So, the Stone Stand, those of you that know anything about the Uthgardt barbarians in the north, which several of you, as we've previously established, do, are where is the burial tribe of the Blue Bear tribe of the Uthgardt barbarians, which was thought to be extinct a while ago. And many people in the north claim that this area of the High Forest is haunted. Stone Stand is situated atop a lonely hill north of the High Forest. And atop this hill, again, very similar to the previous ones, there's the sort of the outer cairn circle, except in this case, the outer cairn circle are broken up rather than a single complete ring. And then in the middle of this whole thing, where the altar has been on previous ones, is just a giant oak tree.
Would Flint know anything about this tribe, as he's the tribe of the bear?
Potentially. Give me a history check with advantage, because your tribe is also bear. With advantage. $10? That's enough. So the blue bear is thought to be extinct, but they're not actually extinct. They make their home just south of here in the northern portions of the High Forest. They like to be left alone. Like they're often like as far as you're concerned, they are very akin to the bear that they worship. They are solitary, like hibernating and being left alone.
Yeah, I'll speak to the others after seeing that this is the Blue Bear tribe ancestral burial, and just say, the tribe that buries the dead here, they're not secretive, but they like to be left alone. They're they don't like interacting, quite like the bears themselves. They're fierce and loners. I'd be careful about disturbing this mound.
I could send a badger in again.
Badgers are not bears, no matter what Honey Heist might say.
keep an eye out. Just
No, that's
keep
not
an
what
eye
I
out
was
to make
thinking.
sure.
I know.
What?
I could send in a panda bear to annoy those who care about like biology.
So it doesn't look like there's anybody around right now. Just the tree in the middle. Which actually, with your roll, Flint, you would know this tree was grown from a branch of the grandfather tree in the High Forest. Which may be relevant, maybe not, but...
We're actually missing little bits of the info when you're talking, because there seems to be quite a lot of lag.
Okay, you would know that the tree in the center of the mound was grown from a branch of the grandfather tree in the High Forest.
Ah, cool. Okay.
Which may or may not be relevant, but...
Yeah.
So, you guys are sitting at the outskirts. Do you go on in?
Yeah, Flint will go on in, definitely.
Yep.
All right. So, as you approach the tree, Flint, as you get within 30 feet of the tree, you see a ghostly figure sort of standing next to it very suddenly. Like, you blink and it's there.
Yeah.
Sort of looking out across the cairns.
Does he look like a barbarian tribe member?
Yes, it looks like an Uthgardt chieftain.
Okay,
And it sort of appears to you as you get like just beyond 30 feet. It isn't like attacking or anything, but it's there.
I, as close to possible, make the noise of a bear as a greeting.
Give me a persuasion roll.
I'll cast Speak with Animals.
I mean, it's a human, not an animal.
Humanoid ghost.
13.
I am also missing things from internet reasons.
Okay.
Do you want me to do a performance check?
No, 13 for persuasion, because you're not trying to emulate a bear necessarily. You're just trying to commune with this ghost.
Yeah, I'm letting him know that I'm also of the tribe of a bear.
Yeah.
I am of a bear.
This is probably the, this is
Not
probably
the
the only
same-
time you'll see Flint be diplomatic.
Not the same bear, but a bear.
Yeah.
So the
Not
ghost,
the blue bear.
the ghost turns to look at you, and in a language you don't understand, begins speaking.
Right.
None of us speak Bothy.
I bow my head a little bit, like I give a little nod, and I say, do you speak the common tongue or shimmery one?
It sort of is taken aback for a moment, looks at you again with sort of fresh eyes. Yes, I do speak the common tongue.
I swear if I hit level 12, I'm taking linguist and learning Bothy.
You can do that.
So Flint says, I'm Flint. I'm from the tribe of the bear, quite far away. I know that you're with the blue bear tribe. I'm sorry to see that you must have fallen in battle, but we're here looking for something that the giants left. Could you help us out?
Giants.
I
That there's giants left.
I stand guard over this sacred place, guarding against trespassers. If you wish to approach, you may.
I'm with some friends of mine. Not only do we want to find this item that the giants left to help us, but we wish to pay our respects to the dead here. And I look around on the floor for a decent sized stone.
Give me a persuasion check again, with advantage, because you've already shown yourself to be a not necessarily of his tribe, but of a similar tribe.
Well, 14.
14?
And I want to pick up that like a decent sized stone and go and put it on one of the cairns as like a sign of respect for the dead there.
You may approach.
And I do so.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you pick up a. There's a little cairn like sort of in the base of the tree. That you.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go put the rock on, and I ask him whether my companions can come and show their respects as well.
Bring no harm to the tree, and they may approach.
No harm will come to this tree. And I beckon the others to. I'm assuming that they've heard all this.
Yeah.
So I beckon to the others to come and show their respects. And I will
Fire.
just kneel by the tree in prayer.
Byron does the same thing. He just kind of grabs a relatively large rock and places it with the cairn.
Alright.
Miracle will go through the motions and like investigate for where the giant piece might be.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Kind of Firebolt's kind of doing the same thing. It's a bit more going through the motions, more so about getting up closer to the tree.
There's only two people here who actually care about the rituals of this town.
That's not entirely true.
There's the ghost is here too.
Oh no, there's the ghost.
Also,
21.
only two people have stated their intentions yet. So Milva and Kinvar.
What are your
Yeah.
intentions?
No, Kinvalar's going to follow the appropriate leads.
Also, that was a persuasion check, not an investigation check, Jeff.
Oh, whoops.
All right, Kinvar comes up.
Yep.
What you doing, Milva?
Yes, same.
Not as good.
Those of you that are looking at the tree, there doesn't seem to be anything here other than the altar. Previous experience would lead to say that, Or that whatever is here is probably buried either under the tree or under the cairn that you're looking at.
I take the rod of the rod out. Voden, whatever.
Rod of Vanadad.
Yes.
It rhymes.
Seek giant relic.
And, yep.
So you get a ping underneath the tree.
Okay.
Son of a.
Of course it is.
Hmm.
Do you share this with us that it's under there?
Yes.
Is it possible to retrieve
We-
it without harming the tree at all?
That I can't answer. I can only say
I
where
look-
it is.
I look at miracle. Features of nature, perhaps?
What roll would be appropriate? Would a nature roll?
Yeah, be natural.
13.
I mean, it depends. If it's just underneath the tree, then yeah, like a badger could probably dig it out, depending on what it is. If it's entangled in the tree roots, then you'd have to cut away the roots, which would be damaging to the tree.
Actually, no, I don't have speak with plants. God damn it.
If we had a druid.
Actually, you know what I can't do? Does it seem like there's any ants or other really small things like beetles, bugs that might live in this?
Interestingly enough, no, there aren't. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of small wildlife in this area. There's not even any birds in the tree.
Nothing that sort of thrives in tree roots.
No. Which is strange to you, but something.
Well,
yeah.
No, it makes sense if it's something magical. Oh. Can I do like a nature check on the tree itself to try and get a sense of like how this tree interacts with the ecosystem if it is sort of a more magical, obviously natural, but magical natural.
Yeah, sure.
Not naturally natural.
Give me a nature check.
16.
The tree itself is perfectly normal. It's a large oak tree.
Yeah, I was more trying to understand how these things interact with the ecosystem, and then like shallow roots, deep roots.
It definitely would have deep roots. This is a massive oak tree that the roots probably go quite a ways throughout the burial mound. Actually, it's entirely possible that the roots exist as far out as the outer ring.
Honestly, the best solution I can offer is if someone has the ability to speak to the plants directly. It's not. I potentially could. Sorry, I don't know why that's going off. I potentially could summon something. You know what I can do? And I will. Ants aren't technically something that's in the thing, but I assume challenge rating 0 would apply to like an ant, just a regular ant.
It would. The question is whether or not they're considered beasts
or insects.
Yeah,
Do insects count as beasts?
Let me. That's what I'm going to look up. If they're.
I mean, a giant centipede is a beast, I believe. So
let me just check if other insects are considered
the
beasts.
delineation between beast and yes, giant centipedes are beasts. Typically, the delineation between beast and monstrosity is
you can summon an insect swarm, which would be ants. Yep. I would imagine.
Yes. Insects are okay. So that is I don't technically need this many, but what the hell? Let's go all out.
Swarm of ants.
8 swarms of ants.
So the ground around Miracle erupts in ants.
And just look, see if there's something metal made down there in with the tree.
Burrow into the ground. It's going to take them a while because while they're tiny, they're also tiny. After a few minutes, they return and impart unto you a vision of a massive giant skull entangled in the roots of the tree.
Unfortunately, it seems connected, entangled in the tree.
Well,
Is,
rather than directly just trying to pull it out, I think perhaps the ghost might know more about how to retrieve it without harming the tree.
I mean,
is the skull just a regular skull? It's not metal or anything like that?
It's a giant skull, presumably vaguely magical.
Are we able to shrink it?
Good question. I go to the.
We might ask, but it's also, can we see it to shrink it? And honestly, I really wish I had some people's plan.
I
Well,
go to
really quick
We'll
before we continue any further. As you guys are thinking about plans to extract the skull from the tree roots, we're going to go ahead and call it an end to our session for today.
right.
Thank you all for joining us. Dan and Grebo, would you guys like to show off some stuff to our viewing audience?
Yeah, we've got some stuff. So the first thing is that we are actually going to be sending you guys some dice cups and dice bags that we make for free giveaways. So
We'll look forward to that in the future.
So these are dice cups that you can have your dice in and roll them in the lid. We're still doing our GM kits because there's a massive demand on them. But then the new product that we've got out, which isn't even up on the website yet, so this is the first time anybody's seeing it, is we have some cases for you to keep your minis or dice in. Again, all hand-stitched, leather-bound. This is a mermaid kit. You can see. And then we'll open it up.
That stuff is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the camera does it justice, but it's very, very shimmery.
So yeah, they have really fantastic stuff.
So all this is nice and soft. This is all foam, and then this is foam that you can actually pluck out in squares. That you can then put your minis in there, or you can pluck them out and put sets of dice in. And that's available for those on our Patreon page. They can order that. That's like a Patreon-only buy. But yeah, that's like our new latest product. But go check us out, The Cognitive Merchant, on Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, Instagram. We're everywhere at the moment.
And I believe the website is thecognitivemerchant.co.uk.
It is indeed, yes.
And so yeah, look forward to that. We will be doing giveaways both through the Twitch channel, through my Twitter account, and through our YouTube channel. So there will be multiple chances to acquire some bespoke geekery of your own.
Also, one other thing, there's we now have an American ambassador for our stuff. A guy called Baylor Banis. He runs the B&B Tavern, and he will be at most of the major gaming cons over in the US.
Yeah, and I've worked with Baylor. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome. He's our amazing little halfling DM. And he's going to be over there with one of our kits, like a promo kit, and with dice bags and dice cups, and he's going to have Cognitive Merchant T-shirts and all kinds of things to sell. So you'll also be able to place orders through him as well. So yeah,
All
that's
right.
pretty cool.
Look forward to all of that. Go check out the B&B Tavern on YouTube. I did an interview with them not too long ago that should be going up by the end of the year or early next year. So check them out over there, and check out all the Cognitive Merchant over at thecognitivemerchant.co.uk. And we'll see you all next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.